And hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Couple Live, a movie couple always late. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And hey, happy Saturday. Thank you guys so much for, first of all, waiting. And secondly, thank you so much for putting up with our always being late. It's just, Navi, where aren't you doing your job? We have a production manager here.
A production dog.
Here she comes.
Were you taking a nap, huh?
We found her napping. So Navi, usually we blame Navi because, you know, we ask her to set up the lights, check our connection, our camera, and our sound, and make sure everything is good.
But of course, how can you stay mad at that face for too long?
You want to show off Tiny Tail?
Hi, everybody.
So Navi's freshly groomed, but we had to groom her tail a lot because it was matted, so they took a lot of the fur off. So now we have nicknamed her Tiny Tail. Boop, because it is
little tiny tail.
Just a tiny tail.
She have a nice fluffy tail, but not anymore.
Just
sorry, Navi.
Well, you guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our longtime viewers, our movie bunch for being here, and all of our new subscribers who are tuned in to whether it's your first live or your second or third live. We welcome you. Hello and bidet.
Bidet, my
Bidet.
good friend, fellow critters.
So today on the show, just like we do usually every Saturday when there are, you know, spoilery things to talk about, we had previously to the Legend of Vox Machina coming out. We actually previously used to kind of reserve Saturday for just the Book of Boba Fett spoiler, but we obviously are so into the Legend of Vox Machina, and we thought we just want to shout it from the rooftop how much we're enjoying the show. So,
and I have to admit, anytime I go to work, I've been saying, have you guys seen it? Have you guys seen it? And I've gotten like 5 people who are like, you know, I've never watched any of Critical Role, but I've started watching the show and it is so good. And a part of me is just like, yes. I am converting people to the ways of Critical Role and D&D tabletop role playing.
I think what's really cool about the show is that in a way it is a gateway to Critical Role, especially those who have been interested in watching the campaign, but it feels daunting because you look at a single stream when they put it on the VOD and it's 4 hours plus, depending on where they are in the campaign. Sometimes they go longer. So that's kind of what stopped me from honestly watching Vox Machina in the beginning. It's because I was like, wait, how long is this stream for? I don't have time for that. You know, but when the Mighty Nine started, there was something that clicked in me that said, this is at the beginning, you watch it right now. And I just got so into it, so attached to the characters so quickly. Literally the first time when they did kind of revealed what voices their characters were going to have, their names and where they came from, I immediately was like, oh, this is going to be my favorite. Oh, this character is going to be my favorite. I till this day can't pick a favorite in the Mighty Nine.
Oh no,
I really
same here.
can't. It switches everything.
I love all of their characters, and each character has their moment to shine in the Mighty Nine. And even though I'm loving Vox Machina, and I am loving just the success that it's having, and I can't wait for more and more seasons to come out for Vox Machina. I'm also excited that since this is doing so well, that they will have a Mighty Nine animated series coming out.
Fingers crossed, man.
In the near future, kind of a thing.
Fingers crossed. We know it's no small feat creating and turning and adapting your, you know, hours-long campaign, years of, you know, story and character building, and condense that into a half-an-hour weekly show. With all the animation, with the writers and everything that you have to pay for. So it's no small feat, but we'd like to hope that the Legend of Vox Machina is very, very successful and it continues moving forward, and that we will eventually get the Mighty Nine, and then hopefully I don't know if they have a name yet for their third campaign. No, because we're also not caught up, so don't spoil that for us.
We're only like on
episode 7?
7 or 8.
7 or 8.
So I think we're like 4 or 5 behind.
We just met Chetney.
Chetney.
We just met Chetney. So like literally just met. So Don't spoil that part for us because we haven't caught up. All right,
but also,
guys.
I love how they are throwing some Mighty Nine teasers in. We're
going to dive into it. I want to do it in order.
Well, I know, but that was actually in last episode 3, I think. When they go in and you see Tusk Love and you see Sprinkle, and I'm just like, this is amazing. I love the fact all the fan service that they are doing in this show. So, but speaking of fan service, let's dive on in. Actually, we do have
we got a couple things.
That's what I was trying to dive into.
We didn't really sit down and do a proper pre-production today, so it's really my fault. I like to take 10 minutes to do pre-production with Dustin and Navi, but we didn't have time to do that. So I'm gonna try very hard to not jump around today. But to right off the top, we do have a super chat from Marvin Martin. Thank you so much, Marvin. Marvin writes, today's fun fact: folks rode reindeer before horses.
Which I did not know. I mean,
Why do you feel like that's harder?
I would think riding reindeer, because I think reindeer are a lot more, because since
they're bigger, right? A little bit?
No, I don't think so. I think the horses are technically bigger.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I do have to admit that I don't think reindeer as domesticatable as horses. Because one of the qualifications to domesticate an animal is that they have to have they can't be super afraid of humans. Horses are less afraid of humans than reindeer are. I think since reindeer are very much a prey animal, I know horses are too. I think it would be a lot more difficult to be able to domesticate a reindeer.
Unless you're Santa.
Unless you're Santa. Or if they have a red nose. So I would definitely have to say that, it makes sense because maybe in some places there aren't horses.
Yeah.
So someone saw a reindeer and was like, I'm going to ride that thing. Kind of like Boba Fett in the Rancor.
I'm going to ride that.
I want to ride it.
I
rode something 10 times its size before.
Yes. Love it. Thank you so much, Marvin Martin, for that fun fact. So here is the run of the show, just to give you guys a little bit of, and for me as well, peace of mind of like where we're going. We got a couple of things up top to talk about. We're going to go over it really quickly using like 5 minutes. Then we're going to dive into episodes 4 to 6 on spoiler discussion for The Legend of Vox Machina. I almost said The Legend of the Mighty Nine. That's where my brain is right now. And then we will dive into, of course, chapter 6, spoiler discussion of the Book of Boba Fett, because we have to.
Especially this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So to start it off, the reason why we ran a little bit late is because we did a quick jump over to our PO box to pick up a couple of things. We're gonna put in a little production dog. And this is one of the things that I got from. I actually won like a little raffle that I entered online from a boba tea place called Tasty. And they were doing like a Lunar New Year thing. So I just, entered the contest. And I was like, I never win these things. So who cares?
But you
won. I did it just for fun. And yeah, I got the DM. They're like, you won our Lunar New Year pack or whatever. So I was like, you know what? We'll do a little unboxing time before we dive into everything we're going to talk about today. Oh, I did that so backwards.
And here. You got it. You got it.
Angrily open it.
Just
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, you got a little red envelope.
I got a little red envelope for Chinese New Year. Oh, and a pin. Whoa, I got stuff. All right.
You got some cool stuff there.
So we got our classic from Tasty, the red envelope. That it's so cute. I'm going to keep it forever. And it says, Happy Lunar New Year.
And if you guys have ever been or have a Tasty around you, we have some of the best boba milk tea and coffees and smoothies. Not, what is that called? Not sponsored.
Can you take your phone off of the Wi-Fi?
Oh, sorry.
I'm looking at our connection. I'm like, ooh. They also sent me a little sticker because it is Year of the Tiger. So we've got, so I'm trying to hide my face so it focuses on the sticker itself. So there is that. And I also got the same, but in a pin, which is awesome. There we go.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Gotta move my face. Oh, there
he goes.
Look at how cute that little lunar tiger is.
And they got a little advertisement of some of the new teas they've got going on. And I think these are scratchers that are in here. Yeah.
Oh.
They're little Tasty dollar bills, and there's a little scratch on the back. So we technically, Dustin already had a boba, so maybe we'll save this for tomorrow.
Can have another one. You can.
No.
You can't just limit yourself to one boba a day.
You need to get the next one with like medium to low sugar. So
who celebrate Lunar New Year.
Chinese New Year. Woo! All right. So the next thing that we got was from our longtime viewer, our movie bunch. What do we call Chris on here?
Well, we call it Chris's Choice because he always put in super chats that made it super. We had like, would you prefer this or this? And we were always like, no.
Yeah, hard-hitting questions.
How could you make us choose between these two? Like, what is it called? Something or kill or something. And it was like between like Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Very hard.
How can you do this to us?
So Chris was super nice and sent over a surprise package. We didn't even think that, just because we literally just saw Chris at Disney.
Yep.
Literally this past Wednesday, because we were there and he was there. So we met up for just like maybe 20 minutes and had a little chit chat. And then he's like, hey, I sent you guys something in the mail. I'm like, what? So we're going to go ahead and open it on air if that's what you do.
Oh, yes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
and then Steven, I see your super chat. So we're going to get to that in 2 seconds.
Let me see what this is. Ooh!
Oh my gosh!
Okay, this is the first thing I went to, just because I saw the red and the color of it, and I'm just like, oh, this is so cute. Here you go, Indy. You can actually show everyone it.
I didn't see this at Disney.
When we went to Disney, I did not see that. But let me get my head out of the way. But it is definitely a Lunar New Year.
It's not focusing there.
What are those called?
Yeah, like, oh my gosh.
Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a Turvis too. You know, Turvises are great.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
And also to keep on going with his nickname, Spider Chris.
Spider Chris.
He
we
gave
named our
us,
spider bot Spider Chris.
To kind of go with his nickname, he got us a mini spider bot.
And it's motorized with lights and movement.
Yep.
I can't wait.
If I'm not mistaken,
Chris, thank you so much.
You can actually play with these with your other spider bot. They kind of interact, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my gosh, we have a daddy spider and a baby spider? Cute!
A mommy spider and a baby spider.
These are the only spiders that I'm not afraid of. Otherwise, I can't do spiders.
That and Lucas the spider, who's
that one's cute because it's animated.
Yeah. And it's designed to be cute.
How adorable, Chris!
Thank you so much, Chris. These are amazing gifts.
Thank you so much.
To you, Chris.
We're going to go ahead and get to Stephen Crawford's super chat.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Another fun fact. First car salesperson had to show drivers brake pedal or brake lever. First drivers screamed, "Whoa!" to make the car stop, which caused accidents.
There are a lot of things, a lot of weird fun facts about cars and car safety and car driving back when cars first came out. Did you know that when cars first came out and people had like driver's licenses and stuff, if there was actually a woman driver in the car, there had to be a man sitting like in the back waving flags so people knew it was a female driver? And how I'm like that is so, just the fact that there were laws like that back then. Cool, you're just kind of like, really? So many things that we don't even think about anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah. I find it interesting, all of the different fun facts that you can find out about cars and car history.
Learning all the things today. Thank you so much, Stephen, for your super chat. And now, you guys, we can go ahead and get into, where in the world is there it is. Let's go ahead and get into the Legend of Vox Machina episodes 4 through 6. So we're going hardcore, following, like getting right into, it looks like, the Briarwood arc.
Oh, they dived right on into it.
Look, there's only 12 episodes to season 1, so we can't waste time. We got to get in there. You know, there's a piece of, I found it. Lashes?
Something like that. But honestly, these 3 episodes really can be broken down into the consequences of what happened during the dinner, then the journey to Whitestone, and then arriving in Whitestone.
Yeah, it definitely centers a lot around Percy here, as we'll get into that in 2 seconds, but you know, for the longest time thinking that he is the sole survivor of the DeRollo family. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying DeRollo.
DeRollo, it's not one of those words that kind of rolls off the tongue. I am dying for them to someday to say Percy's full name. I've never been able to say it all the way through. Yeah. I think it's actually like maybe like
Didn't Taliesin say it over and over during the campaign too? And Matt and everyone else I think Matt had it, but I think Sam would try and just wouldn't.
Sam was the only one who got. Sam was the one who got the closest.
Oh, really?
To actually saying it. I think he forgot like one name, or he mispronounced one name. If anyone it's already there. I was about to ask if someone could put it into the chat. Percival Frederickstein von Musel Kowalski DeRollo III.
Holy moly.
That is his full name. I want him to say that so bad in one of these episodes.
I feel like it's going to happen because it was kind of a big deal in the campaign. Like, you know, it's a fun little bit for the critters who watch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it an Easter egg because it is his name, but yeah.
So, but thank you very much.
Kowalski.
Mambo number 2.
Kowalski.
Kowalski. Yeah. Oh, and the way that Taliesin can get it to kind of just roll off the tongue makes it just seem so suave and debonair, and it's almost like hearing music when you actually hear Taliesin say it.
You know, I'm so mad the one time that I met Taliesin. So I used to work for Collider, and back then we had a show. It was a very comic focused show called Collider Heroes, and it was first and foremost hosted by King Sweaty himself, John Schnapp, R.I.P. And after that, we had Koi Jandrew and Amy Dallin as co-hosts weekly on the show. And Amy one day came up and she's like, hey, my friend would really like to be on the show. Which, by the way, Amy's now over working at D&D Beyond, so like, and she streams every now and again. So make sure you check her out. Just follow her social. She
streams almost like multiple times a week, and she does a really good job on streaming.
What a fantastic human! But she was like, hey, I want to bring my friend Taliesin on the show. I was like, I mean, if you want them on the show, they can be on the show. If they got Amy's stamp of approval, not really thinking about anything. So it wasn't really until after I booked everything and kind of coordinated via email and Taliesin had come in. It wasn't until he was leaving that the brain snapped and went, wait a minute, I should have asked him for a photo or like went and talked with him.
You were in work. You were in production.
I was in work. I was in work mode, and I was just trying to make sure things ran smoothly and made sure our guests and hosts were comfortable and happy. But anyways, that was like just a cool little fun like brush with some of the Critical Role. I think the other person I met was Matthew. Oh. The one and only Matthew Mercer.
I have to admit, I think
super nice dude.
For the longest time, it was Nathan Fillion for me. If I ever met Nathan Fillion,
would you forget your name like I did?
I'd be like, oh my God, you're Nathan Fillion. I think if I ever met Matt Mercer, I'd be like, oh my God, you're Matt Mercer. I love what you do. I want to be like you. I want to be able to DM like you.
I try to like kick you in the shin, like
you're embarrassing me.
Oh,
and it's just amazing to hear too that all of them from Critical Role are like the nicest people. The other person that I actually met was Sam. Yeah, Sam actually came to the museum once.
Yeah, Dustin works for a kids museum, but you and but you didn't.
No, I didn't. No, a part of me was kind of like, I want to say something. I want to say that I love your character Scanlan, and I love that. I love all your characters.
Not as great.
Kind of a thing.
Hello Wes says, I actually did meet Matt Mercer like that. It's natural. I think it's natural. It's in the moment of like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Where do I put my hands? What do I look like?
Mm-hmm. And I also want to do a shout out to SB. I don't know how to say that one. Say your name. I do apologize, but thank you for noticing the shirts. Yes, I've got the Nature's Wrath for Druid,
and I got my Paladins, the Holy Rollers on. These are actually on Fan Wraps. I don't even know the company.
Yeah, we actually did a photo shoot.
We actually did a photo shoot with them.
A little while ago. Not a little while ago. It was actually a while ago.
Okay, I found it.
Oh, okay, you found it?
Yeah, let me just drop it in chat. Oh, God. Why is the internet so slow, y'all?
I have my phone off of the Wi-Fi. Oh, you know what? It's probably because we haven't switched over our modem. So that's something that we have to do, and that's why we have a little bit of laggy internet. I do apologize for the slow tech. But fortunately, that will be rectified soon.
I went ahead and put the link to, you can get some of these shirts. These are, pretty cool. They have Paladin, they have, I believe, Warlock, they have Druid, and I'm not sure what else they have. They have a couple of other ones. If you want to click the link and check it out, you can, just to kind of spread the word. And I believe there is a coupon code for them. I want to say it's Wendy Lee 10. Try that, and if it doesn't work, let me know. I'll send you a different one. Because I haven't done like the promo for that for a while. But it is a small business, and we try to support small businesses when we can.
Go small businesses.
All right, let's go ahead and get back to.
Oh, we do have another super chat, and then we can dive into episode 4.
All right, here we go. Hello, what? Thank you so much for your support and your super chat. My friend and I met Matt Mercer as. Is it Levi and Hanji? Oh, from Attack on Titan. Everyone was Critical Role, but he spotted us as Attack on Titan characters. Naturally, he would know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. What a fun memory. I love that for you so much. Yeah, that's awesome. And then to this question, yes, that is us modeling said shirts on the website. It was a fun photo shoot day. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into these episodes because we, catch up with the Legend of with should I say Vox? I was going to call them the Legend of Vox Machina. We catch up with Vox Machina after the feast, after their, I guess, initial meet with the Briarwoods, and where Uriel was like, "How you ruined everything? How can you speak to them like that?" Obviously, there's a little bit of inkling to, you know, a couple of more perceptive, I guess, people who realized that Uriel was sort of under. I'm going to finish this.
Good.
Sort of under some sort of an enchantment, a charm, or something other, which then Alora is also made aware of, so she's going to look in that. But they did place our heroes under house arrest for the time being.
How do you arrest a house?
Oh, Grog. So we kind of see where it goes from there, and I thought that was a really interesting episode too. It's a good way for, especially for anybody who hasn't watched the campaign, to get a little bit more detail of the capability of the Briarwoods. We definitely saw what Silas can do, and that's just tip of the iceberg, but we also got to see the ability of Delilah, which is, you know, kind of raising and summoning her undead army.
Oh my God, those guys were so...
Yeah, I don't know if there's a specific name for them, but they're... Like a wraith? Or something, but they are, I mean, they can go through walls, they can go through the human body. And that entire fight was just... I think I was just open mouthed the whole time watching that, because it was so graphic in the best way possible.
And also what I really like is that they're really starting to show that our heroes can get hurt, and can get hurt bad. You know, they started off a little bit like that in the Brimscythe fight. But, you know, everyone was still, you know, pretty good while they exited. But when Vax just got torn apart by the Briarwoods, and you could tell that that he was dead and out, and it was Pike that was able to bring him back. It was in this fight, though, at the end of that fight, everybody was limping away, and that actually gets me really excited.
What level were they when they met Briarwoods at that point?
That I'm going to have to throw to the chat, because I'm not 100% sure on which level they were at, because it was kind of hard to track at the time, because I wasn't sure about what level they started the campaign on, because then they had a huge campaign where they went to and found Lady Kima.
Okay.
And then they fought the beholder, a big beholder that had a mystical horn attached to his head.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Names. I'm terrible with names. But so I'm not quite sure what level they were at. Probably at least above level 5.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe 7 or 8. Because we had an off-camera discussion about Percy revealing, you know, the mask and all that stuff, and I was like, did he multi-class? And I think I think you have to hit a certain level in order to multi-class. Yeah. So, in any case, let me jump over to the super chat real quick, and we'll dive right back into the to the spoiler discussion. Thank you so much for your super chat, and I love the Ahsoka avatar. She's my favorite Star Wars character. All the rest of the season is the Briarwood arc, which would then, if they are able to finish, they have 6 more episodes. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like they can finish the Briarwood arc in the 6th to really give us all the juicy bits. And then I'm assuming season 2, you've said it, and many other critters online have said it, would be the Chroma Conclave arc, which I literally know nothing about. I know very little about that one. So.
I've told you a little bit about the Briarwoods. He's kept me in the dark,
which is good.
I've told you a little bit about some of the other small events.
Like, I know, like the infamous, like the bathtub scene. Like, I know that because it was literally everywhere. It was hard to avoid. So I asked him about it, and I watched it, and I want to see that animated.
Oh, me too. And I busted out laughing so hard in that moment that when he was like, what? There were so many moments that I just laughed so hard that Wendy was like, okay, what just happened? So I love it. And we do have, what is it called? Mambo number 2 said probably started stream level 8.
Okay. Briarwood arc, I think around 10 or 11. That makes sense.
Yeah. And you know what? That makes a lot more sense than being at level 4. So they were already pretty strong.
Yeah, level 10.
When they first started this campaign. So they got up pretty high by the end of it.
Thank you so much to Mambo number 2 for putting that in the chat, and thank you so much to Black Loki. I know I can't show the super sticker, but you guys can see it in chat, and it's the cutest little. It looks like a little
fox,
little Inu, little Shiba Inu, maybe.
Or
Okay, so and a little bit more insight on that. The reason I brought it up was because Dustin said that he wanted to have 2 more episodes in Whitestone. We'll get to the rest of the season in Whitestone, which makes sense. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that they went and fought these crazy creatures, and Percy's kind of, in this photo that I'm showing you guys here, you've already seen the episode, but Percy was kind of like, I got to do this on my own, thinking. And I kind of love that a lot of these times in D&D, in these adventures, somebody always thinks like, I can't burden other people with my problem. I am also the sole survivor. It is my right to Whitestone, my sort of duty to my home.
Yeah.
I am going to go beat them, and I'm going to go reclaim my birthright. But, the rest of the team was like, no, sir. We
are with you, yeah.
We got you.
Except for one,
and I don't know where her photo is, but I also did pull these awesome screenshots of these. We'll call them wraiths for now, unless you guys have another technical term that I can use. But these creatures, and especially it was so terrifying seeing what they were able to do to our heroes, especially when Keyleth got dragged up the wall.
Oh my god, that picture just says it all right there.
It's chilling. It's very, very chilling to see. And I love how they were able to convey that, because when you sit at the table and you're in the stream, and Matt, thank God for him being the kind of DM he is so descriptive. And it doesn't matter if it's theater of the mind or you have like the map of the mini in front of you. The way this man uses words,
yes,
and to be able to describe, it sets you in that moment. And there's many times that I've watched, Mighty Nine, when he describes things, and Travis himself, not as his character, but Travis gets very freaked out.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes too, when I'm watching, I'm like, oh no, I don't like that. And that's all just theater of the mind. So kind of seeing that adapted into animation, it's just such a treat. So again, props to all the animators who worked on the series, because it is amazing to see. And yes, you did mention that we, are currently down one very important member to have while fighting.
If you're fighting undead, you kind of want a cleric.
But our cleric, or I think they're calling her the healer for now.
Yeah.
I think that Vex said
person.
Healer or the holy person. That's the 2 terms that they've dropped. They've stayed away from using cleric, I think, just in case there is like a copyright issue with Wizards of the Coast. I don't see that there being a problem, because cleric is a thing. I don't think that's a word that can be copywritten, but better safe than sorry. And we understand.
Yeah.
She's the healer and she's the holy person, but she's lost her connection to the Everlight. So she's kind of straight off to kind of do a little soul searching to reform her connection to the Everlight. And I find that really interesting, because we were kind of talking about, we knew Ashley was in and out, mostly out of the campaign a lot, because she was literally working on Blind Spot.
Was it? I think at this time it wasn't. I think Blind Spot was actually during campaign 2.
She was working a lot.
She is I mean, maybe at this time, this is when she was actually doing Avengers. Kind of.
That's like a 2-3 day shoot. She's featured in Avengers, but that's not a I'm gonna miss 6 weeks of campaign type of a shoot.
No, true. But I mean, I like the fact that they're also playing with this a little bit. The fact that Pike wasn't there for a lot of it. However, for those who do know what happened and how Pike does make her re-entrance, I am really excited to see how they do this. Because there's actually they can follow the way that they did it in the campaign, but I'm pretty sure they're going to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how they do her re-entrance, because they could kind of have like a Thor Wakanda. This would be completely out of changing kind of what they did in the campaign, but still have the same flavor, but kind of have like a Thor Wakanda entrance kind of a thing.
Oh, she comes in, she's leveled up.
Yeah, or something like that.
She's reconnected to the Everlight.
And you can have this, like, what is it called? The immigration song kind of go off or something. Yeah, and I'm just like, I want to see kind of something like that moment.
Yes.
But I can't get because they can go in a dozen different directions and I would still be satisfied. Because so far I know they have such good, the things that they've changed and the things that they've tweaked have been amazing, and I've had no problems with them because they've still kept the heart and soul of what happens, kind of a thing. Because if any of you've seen back in episode 3, the way Vax entered into the Briarwood's room, completely different than what happened in the campaign. So, but yet I liked what they did.
I see. And I really like that they do take, care to, like, this is literally what happened in the campaign. We weren't able to have Ashley because she's a working actress, which is so awesome for her. So how are we going to adapt it? And I think a little side quest for Pike is really, really great. And, I think it builds kind of, obviously more story to her character, her arc. And I also love seeing that the consequences of her leaving. So one, they don't have a healer. So going up against the Briarwoods, it's going to be, they definitely could use the help of a cleric, which they currently don't have. So they can only rely on what they currently have right now within their party, but also how much it affects Grog because of the history that these two have and the friendship that they have. And someone said it really, really well. One of the comments in our reaction video, but they said, if you asked me who in Vox Machina would be the first to make me cry, Grog would be at the bottom of the list, just because. But the way he said it's a. But what did he say? Like, but what about me? Are you leaving me or something like that? It was so sad. And
what if I need you?
But what if? Oh my God!
That's what it is.
And I'm like, you're right. Don't leave. What if he does need you? So it's like making me like misty eyes just thinking about it. Damn you, Travis.
And I love that, just the connection that all of these characters have, and they know how to exploit is not the right way, but to be able to use them. And showing Keyleth's struggles, to show Percy's struggles, Vex and Vax's relationship. And I'm loving everything about this so far. So this episode creeped me out, had great moments where you really thought, oh my God, is someone gonna die?
That's literally every episode, even though we know some of them survive past this point of the episode. You're like, for example, for the next episode we get into, like, with Scanlan, when that happened, for anybody who didn't know the campaign, you're kind of like, okay, Scanlan could be in jeopardy, but for the rest of us who knew, it's kind of like, well, we know he's fine up to this point at least. So it's really interesting to watch, but you still felt the pressure and the danger of, like, oh God, could we be saying goodbye to this character right now? And with that said, let's go ahead and dive into episode 5, where they are making their way to Whitestone. With
a quick stop at
Gilmore. I don't know if I pull that graphic or not.
But I love
I did.
Them sneaking in, trying to steal stuff. Gilmore catches them.
I don't think I grabbed
just
it.
The whole. I love that quick little moment, and they showed a little bit more cute moments between Vax and Keyleth.
Vex and Percy.
Yeah. I think I have an excellent resting bitch face.
Did you just hear me? It's very Vex to be like that, though. I love that. And the response is perfect. I don't even know if that was written just specifically for the show, or if that came about naturally via improv in the campaign. So if you guys know,
I think that happened in the. I wouldn't be.
Let us know.
I think that moment did happen in the campaign, but it was really fast.
But these are experts of, like, yes and.
Yeah.
They're all so good. So it really wouldn't surprise me if some of that came from there. But they are chased by these awful looking creatures. I tried to screen cap the one where the mouth was open. I couldn't get a crisp photo on it, so I just used this one. But these pack of mutated wolves, undead wolves.
Mutated wolves is a good way.
Came after Vox Machina, specifically after Scanlan, because he had the book. He was working hard on translating Delilah's handwriting in the book, and they kind of gave us a little bit of info on the
Ziggurat.
Ziggurat.
I can't remember what Scanlan said it was.
Something like that.
Something that was very, very inappropriate.
Very Scanlan to say, or very Sam. I feel.
Exactly.
So, kind of seeing him and seeing all of them, not only having to fight off these guys, they also have to try to save a member of their party. And it's funny, before they left Teldore, after they went to Gilmore, and they're like, hey, look, we got a horse and a cart. And I immediately went, oh no, so far.
Like, no,
yeah. And they they showed how brutal it was when the carriage went off the thing, and I was like, that horse and the cart is like, oh look, they did not survive. They did not survive it.
I wish they could have spent a little bit more time on their journey to Whitestone, because there's still the frost giants that they came across. There were those harpies, and it was the harpies that originally ate their horses because they had to leave their horses behind and go across this narrow path.
Yeah.
They get attacked by harpies, but then the harpies leave, and they're like, and then Matt happens to mention, yeah, they found other food. And then I think it was Laura that goes, our horses.
That's always their reaction though. What was it in campaign 2? What were the creatures that they, it was like the big cats or whatever?
Yeah, there was something that ate their horses. I was I'd have to go back and watch.
God,
but I remember they were even on the board, and Matt just, yeah, that horse is dead. It was some kind of acid thing, I think, that just like melted the horse. The campaign and horses, how many you go through.
Yeah, and they named them too. It's like, I was like, well, why are you guys getting attached to them? It's, you know, they're not gonna, they do
Don't
try.
Name them.
They do
Don't
try
name
really
their horses.
For WC toilet.
That's right, water closet.
Oh, the Moorbounders. Yes, remember?
Oh yeah.
And then at one point, I think it was Jester or Laura's like, wait, there were Moorbounders.
They left them in.
But then they just like kind of released them back into the wild.
We're like, they're hoping that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't think Matt said anything otherwise, and they're just kind of like, oh, you don't know, they're just released back into the wild.
That's what happens with the generation of cars. Has to go back and be like, oh yeah, that's right. Our mode of transportation is now a living creature.
Yeah. Thank you so much to Mumbo number 2 for another fun fact. Fun fact: Vex's exploding arrows were originally made by Percy, but they made it in this one that they purchased, the one and only.
I hope
Gilmore.
Actually, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a moment where they're preparing their storm on the castle. Percy makes a few exploding arrows.
Just to have that in there.
Yeah, and then that's going to start kind of building up Vex's and Percy's love relationship a little bit. And yes, I saw, oh man, I wanted to mention this comment, but we were just going through stuff.
Yeah.
But thank you for bringing that up.
Dagger.
Steak.
Steak. And the one holy water that they were able to get, unfortunately, they were not able to grab their bag before it tumbled off the side. And it definitely made me and Dustin, as we heard the clink, go, oh no.
You heard the clink, clink,
shatter.
And you were like, oh.
And you know too, as D&D players or any sort of TRPG players, you know how much gold things like that would have cost you. And you're already so far away from Gilmore. You can't just be like, let me go to another shop and hope that they have it. I.e., you hope that your DM gives you back. You know, but you have to still pay for it. Like, they're expensive. There's things that Dustin and I have wanted in our respective campaigns that we currently play that it's kind of like, how much is it? Oh, you mean just a measly 800 gold? Cool,
and you only get to use it once?
How many charges does it have? Yeah. Yeah. So, but nonetheless, they make their way to Whitestone, to the gates of Whitestone, and it is not as how Percy described it. It is barren and destroyed and dark and just hideous. Here's a photo of that.
I do like the fact that they showed what Percy remembers it looking like and how beautiful it was, and then they show the vast contrast. So I loved how they set this up, how they did kind of like a set and spike for that scene, showing how beautiful the sun tree was before, and now it's just, as Scanlon like to say, creepy as, what is it he say, creepy as fuck? Or creepy
something like that.
He said something like that.
Something
he says,
like that.
Your town is creepy as hell.
Yeah, creepy as shit. Maybe.
Creepy as shit.
Yeah,
that's what
something like that. And I think one of the most daunting things was we did see, you know, when we cut back to the Briarwood, they did invite some dinner guests. And it's crazy because, again, you're getting the perspective of two critters, one who have not watched Vox Machina, who started during, started to follow campaigns in Mighty Nine, and someone who has watched Vox Machina. So my mind didn't cross to take a look at the guests that the Briarwoods had, how much their like body type and you know, all that resembled our heroes in Vox Machina. It really was, my attention was really on the small girl because she handed her a wooden holy symbol that Pike obviously has, and I initially thought, are they going to use this little girl to kind of put some sort of illusion on her, make her look like Pike and confuse our heroes and what? But like all of that, any sort of theory I had in my head was not as dark as what actually did play out.
Oh my gosh.
Which was to hang these poor town folks, across the sun tree and dress them to look like our heroes. And we actually watched a comparison video this morning of how that moment happened during their live stream campaign, and how it was, and obviously what it looks like in the animation. And it's crazy because you kind of look at Marisha's face as it all dawned upon them, like, and she kind of was like, this is so much. And the fact that they didn't stop at just our 7 heroes, but they, in the campaign, the live stream, they actually had a fake trinket as well, which they didn't have in this one because the Briarwood technically hadn't met Trinket in the animation, and nor did they bring Trinket with them. So, but gosh, that was just goes to show the Briarwood's like, oh yeah, we knew you were coming, and what? Yeah,
and we prepared everyone for you.
Yes, we prepared
everyone knows to avoid you or to turn you in.
Yes. So with that, let's go ahead and sorry, I'm just looking back. So now that we are finally in Whitestone, we can see the Briarwoods, Delilah and Silas talking, mostly Delilah talking. But we have Professor Anders, and we have Captain Stonefell, right?
Yep.
In there, and we have the rebellion who is wanting to, fight the Briarwoods and reclaim Whitestone, because these are the town folks that grew up, especially seeing Archie becoming the rebellion leader, sort of, in a way, and having Percy realize this after speaking with Keeper Yenin. I just thought that was, you can very much tell, like, how much he loves his home, how much he wants to get it back, how much hatred he has in his heart for Briarwoods. Obviously makes sense after what they did to Percy and to his family. So they have this grand old plan of maybe Keelan will speak with the animals to go in and do this.
Moment.
Maybe Scala will drink the potion and become a and
Grog's just like, and we'll kill everyone and everything. But we're trying to save someone. Oh, all right. Well, don't kill him.
No, I think he said kill him too. His little animation like hit the little cord. And then Vex is like, no, we're just gonna go in front door team, back door team, which is funny because in campaign 3 they recently had gone into, in the very beginning, and they had a front door team, back door team.
Oh, I love that moment.
Remember that?
The door that they just could not get through.
Yeah.
Where did all these people come from? We picked them up on the way. Why do you smell like piss? Oh, I picked it up on the way.
That was just so funny because you're watching, Vax, the rogue, trying to pick, and I'm guessing he rolled either a nat 1 or
everyone
just
was failing
10.
on that. They couldn't. I remember it. They tried so hard to get that door knocked down, and everything they tried just did not work. That's the bane
I fell out the window.
That was the bane of almost every single D&D campaign are doors and
corners,
5-foot gaps. Don't try to jump over the 5-foot gap, because if you failed, you're done.
Oh God, that's so funny. Yeah, so I love that they put that in there. But luckily, our heroes eventually make their way inside. I'm sorry, that's annoying. I'll stop, guys. But they make their way in. They release some of the prisoners. They find Archie. They bust him out. But then it's funny because they were like, I'm going to run back in. I'm going to be a distraction. Percy runs back in. I was like, what are you doing? But obviously Percy had ulterior motive. Not ulterior motive, but he's seeking vengeance. And as he said that in the animation, I am vengeance. And I was like, Batman, is that you?
And that was you mentioned it on the on our reaction. The fact that you're like, oh, that's such an anime moment.
It's such with the lenses, and I think I pulled a photo of it. This was when he first met up with Keeper Yenin, so this isn't the exact shot, but like stuff like this, I just so appreciate so much because it says a lot. And then of course here we have the Percy, the black eyes.
Oh, that's so cool.
What I really liked too was that they were able to, that very subtle, very quick change of Percy seeing Captain Stonefell and then kind of going from this side of the bar, going behind a wall, and then when he reappeared, the mask was on. It was so quick, and the black smoke was coming out. And the fact that the captain didn't recognize him, because it's been how many years until the end, and just him firing off that.
It was me.
Oh, Elena, is that you? Tell Cersei it was me. Yeah, it was such a great moment, and again, tip of the iceberg of seeing No Mercy Percy here. And I also pulled a screenshot of the gun, because the barrel and the names on the gun I thought was really important to have, and I loved how they showed that off in the animation as well. Overall, all these episodes I absolutely loved. And of course, finally at the end here, we have that was such a surprise, because I honestly didn't realize that we were going to get this reveal. The fact that we find out via Archie that Percy is not the sole surviving Dorolo. The fact that we do have Cassandra surviving, but the fact also that the Briarwoods have her.
Yeah.
Like, that's... Oh, no. Did our stream go down?
It will come back.
It says one
viewer. It's actually been doing that a couple times today.
No.
To where it goes out and then back in. So, and also that's actually a question that I got for you guys. Are you guys noticing that there's a lot of glitching of our stream? How solid is it? Does it seem like it's going out and then coming back in at all? MK says it's still good.
Okay.
So onward we go.
Onward we go. So I absolutely love I was completely shocked by the mention of Cassandra, and I feel like I shouldn't be, because when they did the reveal of the voiceover cast, they showed the voiceover actor who was voicing Cassandra, Percy's sister. But then I didn't think about it, because I was like, okay, well, they have to credit the person who voiced her, even if it's for a little bit, before, they show the arrows going through her entire body.
Yeah.
But the reveal was so good, where I was like, wait, so you did a really good job keeping that.
I did not want to say a thing.
Me.
I was sitting here going, I know she's not dead. I know those arrows aren't good. But even when I saw the arrows hit her, I'm like, ooh, those look, because they weren't like just in the shoulder.
They
were like
through her.
Yeah.
It went through her like Boromir style. And she's just a little girl,
and it was through the back too.
So I believe, I don't remember when I learned this, but I think they had kept them alive because there always needs to be a Dorolo in Whitestone. I feel like that was like a lore.
Like it keeps her like a little legitimacy.
Yeah, or something like that. But if you guys know a little bit more detail about that, go ahead and put that in the chat.
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Okay. Maybe don't put it in the chat. delete it.
Don't put spoilers in the chat.
Don't put it in. So I can't wait. I'm so sad that we have to wait another whole week to get episodes 7, 8, and 9. But now that we're spending the rest of our time, I believe, in Whitestone, I wonder when Pike is going to meet back up with our party, because how is she going to figure out that they are in Whitestone?
Well, she knows that they went to Whitestone.
Oh, that's true. So she'll maybe just travel her own way there.
Yeah.
Too. So I would love for it to be like you said, that kind of Thor Avengers moment where, like come in with the Stormbreaker. I know she doesn't have a Stormbreaker, but for referencing that moment for her to come in and just had leveled up. I don't know if she takes, a multi-class at this point or not, or I think I heard through the grapevine that the reason why she lost her connection to her deity was because her alignment changed.
Yeah, simply a lot like
what was her alignment before?
What happens
Lawful
to
good?
What happens to paladins? Yeah, she's definitely should be a lawful good, but I think she started to becoming a little bit more chaotic good because she
murder hobo.
Not murder hobo-y, but more along the lines of drinking, partying, doing these adventures that weren't necessarily for a better good, but more for gold.
So she's either chaotic good or chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Which is what I feel like most of my characters are.
But I'm so excited for the next 3 episodes to drop next Friday. I'm bummed that we have to wait so long to get them, but I am so excited to see more.
Yes. So we will continue, obviously, to do our reactions to all the episodes of Vox Machina. And we want to, again, thank all of you guys for watching those videos, for commenting on those videos, to be very careful about when you post spoilers. And I appreciate all the critters, all the viewers have been doing that, because you guys will write a big spoiler warning and then you guys hide it by putting a bunch of spaces.
I like that. Thank you
guys so much for
that is very thoughtful. It's something that you don't have to do, but it shows just how awesome of a community you guys have made, and that fact that you are willing to, you know, make sure that it's not ruined for other people. So thank you. Yes. That is amazing of you.
Absolutely. So we will be back. Soccer TL says, by the way, what is a critter? A critter is a nickname for the fans of the show and the role-playing, I guess, TRPG show, Critical Role. So to crit in a game. So I think that's where it came from, like critter. Yeah. Crit. So which I hope that answers your question.
A nice little play on word.
And we have this comment here from Justin, who writes, Legend of Vox Machina is everything I hoped for as a backer. Yes. Crazy. We're already halfway through season 1.
I know. We've only got technically two more weeks.
No.
2 more weeks of releases. But I mean, I do like the fact that they are doing 3 at a time. So we don't have to wait. So we don't have to have like 12 weeks of releases.
Does anyone know when the alleged release date of season 2? Because we know it's greenlit, and we think because it's greenlit that means they're probably working on it already. But do we have like maybe they'll reveal it?
Yeah, they're going once season 1 is done, they're going to reveal season 2.
Yeah,
but I just can't wait to be able to watch more of this. And I'm sure as soon as the hype for all of this is done, they're going to start talking about it.
Yes.
But speaking of things that we need to talk about, we need to start moving into the Book of Boba Fett spoilers.
And before we end the official Legend of Vox Machina spoiler discussion, if you guys haven't watched our reaction videos, we do have a playlist on our YouTube channel for all of the Vox Machina related stuff that we've done. So that includes the Red Band trailer reaction and the announcement of the voiceover cast reaction, and as well as episodes 1 through 6 currently. So go ahead and give those a watch. But before you watch, we obviously highly encourage and recommend that you watch the full episode on Prime Video first, and then you can dive into our reaction. And we will continue to put those reactions out. So next Friday, make sure you check back to the channel and subscribe so you get the notification and all that stuff. Do the thing on YouTube. And with that,
and also, we have discussions in our Discord.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys want to join our Discord and be a part of the movie bunch, because we love hearing from you guys. We love hearing your thoughts on different things that we've talked about in the live stream, your thoughts on shows that we are watching, a lot of the different, because we have one in there for the Legend of Vox Machina, one in there for what is it called, the Book of Boba Fett, and pretty much every single Disney Plus show with Marvel or Star Wars. So go on in there, chat it on up. We have one requirement, and that is please be nice to each other. If you disagree, that's fine. It's perfectly fine to disagree. Just be nice and polite and be like, oh, okay, that's cool that you think that it's going in this direction.
Whoa, my computer is slow AF.
Oh.
Wow.
But if you want to join the conversation, here is our Discord in the chat.
That should land you right into the Legend of Vox Machina spoiler discussion. So you are safe to discuss there. And finally, with that, we will go ahead and dive into our Book of Boba Fett spoiler discussion.
Fett.
And of course, this is a highly, again, spoiler stream. So if you haven't watched the latest episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and if it is indeed not ruined for you yet, this is not the stream for you, because we're about to dive hard.
We're going to ruin a lot of stuff.
Yes. So not ruin, but we're going to, discuss
spoil
spoilers.
A lot of stuff.
Spoil a lot of stuff, which is usually why we wait until Saturday to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. So it gives people, since the show airs on a weekday, people who, have 9-to-5s or, very busy lives may not have the time to watch when the show drops, like we're able to afford. So we try to, space it out, give everybody a couple days to watch the Book of Boba Fett. But this episode and the Bryce Dallas Howard episode are so amazing. I didn't think I needed what I got to see, or that I wanted to see what I saw in episode 6, because we are continuing to watch Boba Fett collect various muscles from across the galaxy, if you will. So we get an appearance from Timothy Oliphant's Cobb Vanth. We get to go and visit Grogu, who is currently training with Jedi Master Luke. And I honestly, that really wasn't on my bingo card. I really did not think we were going to see Luke. I thought maybe we see, you know, because they had the body double on set. That we saw in episode 5. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll get kind of like the black Jedi outfit, maybe the gloved hand igniting the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Maybe we hear the voice. I didn't think we're going to get on full conversations between Luke and Grogu and full training montage.
And conversation between Luke and Ahsoka.
Yes.
I mean, and you could tell that they did what they should have done at the beginning, at the end of Mandalorian season 2, which is use the deepfake technology.
Well, they just hired the guy afterwards.
I mean, as soon as that came out, they were like, we need to hire that guy. Get him on this show.
It looks so good. Like my brain couldn't compute, because you know that Mark Hamill doesn't currently look like that now, but that is exactly what Luke looked like. And it's just so good. The technology is insane.
There really was a couple moments when he first appeared that I was like, oh my gosh, is that an actor that they just got that looks a lot like him? There's no way someone looks that much like Mark Hamill. I could not tell that was a deep fake.
No.
So, and that just props to that guy. It was amazing. They did a great job on bringing Luke to life.
And great hire on Disney and Lucasfilm's part, because who knows what other characters at this point now we can get. Like, you know, we can get different characters. But speaking of Ahsoka, which Debbie writes here, who saw Ahsoka coming? I really didn't. I thought it was possible because it is a Dave Filoni episode, and we know that is one of his favorite Star Wars characters. And so, like, I am not surprised that Dave Filoni would want to put Ahsoka in, but I didn't have her on my bingo card. I was like, well, you know, she's getting
We thought about it. We were like, oh, how cool would it be? But most likely not.
But the people that I bet on we were going to have show up was
Cad
Bane and maybe Bo-Katan and Grogu.
We were also thinking
that was my 3 pick.
Omega, maybe.
I never thought about
that. But we did do that poll where we thought it was going to be Ahsoka. But
most people picked Cad Bane.
And I do love Hello What's super chat here. Writers, how many cameos? Dave Filoni. Yes.
100%. 100%. All the cameos. I usually, like, for fan service-y stuff, I'm kind of like, okay, too much. This is not too much.
No.
This is, yes, sir, please. Can I have another?
Exactly. They did an amazing job on being able to balance all of this, to be able to give us, I did not know how much my soul needed to see Luke Skywalker training a Jedi as much as I did. And when they finally got this, I was just like, yes, please. Can I have some more?
I think the best part was watching these two stepping
in
the same
face. Look at that
frame
shot
together. Yeah, that is literally Mark Hamill. Like, I can't believe how good and flipping looks, and the fact that Ahsoka is standing next to Luke, so you know the type of conversation they probably had off camera, you know, because of Ahsoka's
comments.
Just Ahsoka's history with the Skywalkers. You know, she knew both Padme and Anakin. She was there to watch the whole relationship happen.
Yeah.
She knows Obi-Wan. So the fact that she spat out the words, just like your father, and I'm like, oh my God.
Like, honestly, I would love just an Ahsoka Luke series to where there is some time to where they're just going on a few adventures with each other. They're talking about their pasts. They're going through, I mean, like, if they did some of that in the Ahsoka series, but then Ahsoka's like, okay, Luke, I need to go off on my own mission now. I'm being called by the Force to go in this direction. And that's why she's not around for the events that happen closer to Force Awakens, or when, what is it called?
We'll find out in this
when
series.
Ben destroys everything.
Oh, man.
But we've got a couple super chats that I really, really want to get to.
But also, real quick, I also love that when Mando wakes up because Ahsoka was there, you know, like the quick draw. And I love that because that's very much exactly what I would expect out of Mando, like sleeping, but not really sleeping.
Yeah.
He's always alert.
How do you sleep with that helmet on?
This is the way.
This is the way.
And Ahsoka saying, "Oh, I'm an old friend of the family." I'm like, "Oh, yes, you are." And then the way she reached down and petted R2, it's the way that Ahsoka had done in the past in animation. Like, I want to just props to Rosario Dawson for really, you know, she studied the Ahsoka animation, like how to get her movement down.
Yes.
And two, that, you know, when Dave Filoni's directing these episodes, it's kind of like Ahsoka moves like this. Like, there's a lot of communication to make sure we get this character as right as possible. So props to everybody working on that. All right, let's go ahead and get to the super chats.
Yeah, super chats.
Hello What, thank you for your
so
super
much.
The next couple of super chats are from Hello What. This one writes, in an alternate universe or timeline, Ahsoka, quote, "I'm an old friend of the family. Are you Anakin and Padme's daughter? Leia, I am. Allow me to introduce you to my brother. Nice to meet you."
I know. Oh, to have that kind of a moment. And yeah, I would love to see a few moments between Ahsoka and Leia. I mean, and plus, that's something else that can happen. We could see Leia, we could see Han Solo, we can see more Luke. This is the timeline that everyone has been wanting. Honestly, when the prequels came out, that's what a lot of people thought. Oh,
which
finally!
I'm
not the sequels.
Okay.
When the Star Wars sequels came out,
I was like,
this is what everyone wanted. Everyone wants to see Luke building up his Jedi temple, Leia building up the New Republic, and all of this stuff. But I'm like, I want to see more of it. So give us what we want.
Well, we got. I think we're
give us more.
We're getting that. Thanks to Favreau and Filoni working on this, and just couldn't get bigger Star Wars nerds to work on this other than.
And honestly, I have to also agree with Star Drew right underneath the Hello What super chat. Is that it was really nice.
Cyber Goblin?
This was a really nice surprise.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, just having this just kind of blindsided us. I mean, it was just really nice to have, and it really showed how much we really want this.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and fly into the next super chat also from Hello What.
Thank you very much, Hello What.
The first time we've seen live action clone troopers appear on screen in over 17 years. Impressive. Most impressive. See what you did there. So I have a screenshot of Luke helping Grogu remember what had happened. So we get a little hold on, let me take off the one second. Let me just hide this for a quick second so you can see this. Yeah, we have the 3 Jedi protecting Grogu from Order 66, unfortunately not making it themselves.
Yeah.
So hopefully, like this show with all the flashback does that they have.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of those.
A lot of flashback. Apparently, you don't need a Bacta tank to get some flashback does. But some people have said that this Jedi, the one in the middle, resembles, I don't know how to say the name correctly, Cin, and then the last name I can't pronounce, but there's no confirmation that it is. It's just that this Jedi resembles what that Jedi looks like. So maybe it is like a nice little Easter egg deep dive in there. Yeah. For the fans.
But I'm also really curious on what happens after this moment, kind of a thing. So, but yeah, thank you so much for that super chat. I mean, it's also a great, I want to go back and talk about it a little bit more too, but we do also have some more super chats to dive into.
Oh, wow. You guys, thank you guys
so much.
Is this the next one or have I missed any others?
No. It should be 2 green ones from Hello What.
Okay.
So yeah, and those are down after it. So
it.
Yes, I want to make sure we get to all of these super chats.
This one is from Hello Fresh, who writes, Hello Fresh. Am I hungry?
We're probably just a little hungry.
Am I hungry?
We're hungry.
My coffee, I'm so sorry. Hello, what? If it was on Twitch, I would say clip that. but we're not. All right. Even if it's just flashbacks, or it may or may not have been him, but Temuera Morrison can literally play live action clone troopers once again.
I think that'd be really cool. Well, of course, they're probably just going to have clone. If they do have clone troopers, it's going to probably be just his voice. Well, I guess they could still suit him up.
They'll definitely
and just
be
go
using
copy.
his voice.
Yeah.
Multiply.
So, but yeah, honestly, that is something else. I mean, we still have thoughts that we're going to see him as like Rex
As
or
old Rex.
as old Rex.
Maybe the Bad Batch.
Well,
maybe.
I think they'll get different actors to be the Bad Batch.
Because they look kind of
different. All look a little different.
Yeah, that's true. Because like, especially Wrecker and like Tech, they all, you're right, they all look significantly different.
Yeah.
But like, if we could get an appearance, maybe in Ahsoka, of her having a conversation with Captain Rex.
Mm-hmm.
So we could see Temuera Morrison there too.
I would love that.
That would be really
There's so
cool.
much stuff that we can look forward to as well in this series and in the upcoming series of Ahsoka.
Yes, absolutely. Should we go to the next
one?
Next one. Hello, What Writes. Fun fact: Saber Master. Yes, that's the one.
Aha.
Sin
Drolin
is in Grogu flashback. He is the head of the Jedi Temple Guard. Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
His live action in the prequels were played and inspired by Bob Anderson, choreographer of the movies.
That makes sense.
We love Bob Anderson's work.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot. I mean, the fact that he is
a legend.
A legend, yeah. And when it comes to, especially when it comes to sword fight choreography.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, that's really interesting that they, put the little flashback in there and see, like, this is what I like about the Star Wars universe is that it is very vast, expansive. And there's things that even though we've seen the movies, we've seen the animated shows, there's still other things we don't know because there's information that we get in whether it's comic books, graphic novels, video games, books, if I haven't said books yet, and so much more.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot to explore. And I love being a Star Wars fan, old or new, because there's so much, even if you like were born and your parents, let's say like your parents love Star Wars, so they like, throw me to the world of Star Wars. There's always something to learn.
Yeah, true.
About. So I think
honestly,
really cool.
That's the thing. I don't remember the very first time I saw Star Wars. Star Wars has always just kind of been a part of my life. So trying to remember, how it felt to actually see Star Wars for the first time, I actually don't have that memory. So sometimes I am a little jealous of people who get to see it for the first time.
Yeah.
And to see, especially when you see like kids react to it for the first time. And they're just like, Luke Skywalker.
I love those reaction videos, of the kids, like, getting that moment, I am your father. And then the kid, what? And I was like, yep, that was all of us too. No one saw that coming.
And be careful of Darth Vader because he's going to get you. What is it? I think it was that Star Wars to a 3-year-old.
Amazing. We're going to go ahead and jump right into our next super chat. And then after this, I think we're caught up, maybe.
No.
Oh, we're not?
We still have like 3 more.
I'm sorry, guys. We're lagging behind. Zork the Dark One, thank you so much for your support. Who writes?
Thank you so much.
Hi, Wendy and Frank. Dustin. Fun fact, there was a being in the old Star Wars canon that was so powerful, it took the combined might of Luke and a Sith Lord named Darth Krayt to finally put her down. What? A being? Like a creature?
No. I think it was you know what? You're gonna have to put the more detail. I vaguely remember something like that happening.
Really?
But yeah, in the extended universe, and it was. I didn't read the book, but I remember watching a video that kind of talked about it and mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds so cool." So, but yeah, Darth Krayt.
I'm just gonna look up just do a quick trip over to Wikipedia to see what it shows.
But there's so much good material in the Star Wars Legends, and I like the fact that they are kind of picking and choosing. They're like, you know what, we like this stuff. We'll take this, put this stuff back. This kind of didn't work out, so we're going to take some of this. And that they're just kind of like picking and choosing what they want to use. And I'm really hoping that they start diving more into, because the time period from Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens has so much amazing material in Legends that I just can't wait for them to make a movie in this time period, to make it so that we see like more and more TV shows that take place during this time period. Because this is also what everyone always wanted to see. Everyone wanted to see Master Luke Skywalker. Everyone wanted to see the building of the new Jedi Order. Everyone wants to see Mara Jade. Everyone wants to see this time period. It is just rich with history, rich with stories to tell. And I just hope that they start telling more and more and more.
Okay, so here's a little bit of info. Darth Krayt was born Asharad Het and was a long-lived, Force-sensitive human who served as both a Jedi Master in the waning days of the Galactic Republic and as Dark Lord of the Sith following the fall of Darth Sidious. And then I'm trying to see if I can find a little bit more about the Luke and
and I also hope that they maybe do a little bit because what is it? Oh shoot, where'd that chat go? Someone had mentioned Star Killer, and I do kind of hope they bring like a story of Star Killer someday, because that
I can't find it here.
I loved that storyline from
I'll find it later.
from the games with Star Killer. So maybe they'll do a little bit more. Maybe they'll dive into
Sam
that.
Witwer appearance.
Yeah, get Sam Witwer to be in there again.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move.
Oh, it was Hello What?
Hello What? The next one?
Yep, moving on.
This one?
Making my way. Yes.
This one.
Yeah, from
right.
Hello What? Thank you so much.
Bob Anderson has a brief cameo duel with Anakin/Darth Vader during Order 66 when Obi-Wan is looking at the security footage in Order 66 in Episode 3.
That was Bob Anderson.
Bob did Lord of the Rings, Princess Bride, and
that's
more.
where I know Bob Anderson
yes.
probably the most, because once it was that fight in Princess Bride that made me go, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that. I want to be a fight. I want to do sword fighting. I want to do that. Even though I grew up on Star Wars, it was the Princess Bride that made me fall in love with the art of fight choreography and the art of fencing and sword fighting. Bob Anderson is just a legend in my book. I've loved so much stuff that he has done.
I didn't realize he did Lord of the Rings because it's more recent, but I knew about Princess Bride and Zorro and Star Wars. So I think that's really, really cool. Oh, Soccer TL, thank you so much for your super chat. Who writes, thanks for being awesome. Thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you for tuning in for every reaction video.
And for us to just sit here and nerd out pretty much. Just to be nerdy with you guys. I love being able to do this. It's a lot of fun.
I just want to call out this comment really quick. Cyber Goblin writes, if clone troopers in armor, it's just simple a DH face swap.
True.
Yeah, which I'm sure at this point they have scans of his face already in the database, maybe ready to go. In the event that we do get
from the prequels, they have all of it.
Oh, that's true.
And so they don't have to de-age it. They already have the pictures of what it looks like. They're just like slap that on and then just do the deep fake, because they have plenty of footage.
They got that guy now.
Yeah.
Who's doing all the work. So honestly, would not be surprised if somehow one day, maybe still too soon, I'm not sure, but maybe we get a Leia. You know, when the fans are feel like emotionally
when we're ready for it.
When we're ready.
It feels too soon.
Feels blasphemous.
I mean, honestly, give us another year, I think, and seeing Princess Leia in a TV show, I think would be
as long as they do it right. The voice match needs to be perfect.
Yes,
needs to be perfect,
and the mannerisms, being able to pick up Carrie Fisher.
How much Carrie Fisher can you be?
Exactly. It's going to be tough to copy Carrie Fisher. That's going to be a very tough act to follow.
Yeah. Moving right along. This one from Hello What says Order 66. Sorry, I'm going to read that again. Order 66 actually showed the clones killing him, which is an interesting change in the Disney canon. Like they could have almost showed Hayden in the background as Vader if they wanted to.
Oh. You're right. That would have been really, really cool to see all of these clones, and you kind of just see Hayden in the background because he's at a point to where he's killed so many of the other Jedis that now he's just like, no, you clones go and do it. You know what? This is not important enough for me to bother with, kind of thing. It shows that arrogance of the dark side that I think it would be really cool. Just Anakin kind of directing the clones, going, hey, go down this one hallway. There's 3 Jedi and a youngling. Kill them.
Oh my God. Just brutal, huh?
Mm-hmm,
Brutal. And thank you to Hello letting us know that we said Sin Dralik correctly.
Awesome.
Because I was like, oh God, I don't know. I don't know.
I know there's a lot of Jedi names that you're kind of like
how is this spoken?
How do you say this?
Yeah, so this episode was chock full of cameos. Call us fan service if you want to, but I absolutely loved it because it was unexpected, and it just gave us little bits and pieces that we needed. You know, having Ahsoka and Luke together, and watching Luke train Grogu, and watching Grogu having to make that really difficult choice at the end, where it's like, does he? And also like a cameo from Yoda's lightsaber. Yeah. I thought that was like destroyed. So the fact that they showed it and they're gonna give it to Grogu because Grogu technically, I believe, is the last of his species that we know of.
Yeah, you know what? That's
what
true.
What if Yaddle shows up in the next side?
Well, you know, I mean, we really don't know exactly where Yoda's species comes from. George Lucas really wanted to keep that a secret to where Grogu? It is not just Grogu, but what planet Grogu, Yoda, and Yaddle's species comes from, what the name of their species is, and what their connection is to the Force.
So because we don't know at all, huh?
No, we do not. And
maybe keep it a secret.
You know what? It could very much be that this species is very much, in a sense, created by the Force, and it's designed to be able to kind of have that balancing effect.
Yeah.
To where, unfortunately, they're also calling Yoda, what Yoda did for the Jedi was actually a failure because of the fact that he became too involved in the politics. He started going too far down one a certain path.
Yeah.
So talking about Yoda's failure, I think, would be very important.
Very important to have. I wanted to throw up a couple more photos here because I know we're getting to the end, but we have to talk about a couple things. And I didn't put any of these in order.
We do also have one more super chat.
Oh, we do?
Yes, and of course it is from Hello What.
Hello What.
Thank you very much, Hello What.
This one?
I think so. My favorite. Yes.
All right. By the way, you guys, thank you so much for all the super chats.
Thank you so much.
Super appreciate that. My favorite legend story is Luke's Jedi temple on Yavin 4 using the Force to throw the enemy fleet out of the system to a place they couldn't return from. That's just like, that's flex. That's Jedi flex right there.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of moments where they just show the raw power of Luke, in certain individuals of the Force, and I would love for them to really start showing just how powerful some of these individuals are.
I mean, I feel like we definitely got a taste of that when Luke made his first appearance in The Mandalorian. You know what he did to those like dark troopers.
Yeah, he just crunched one of them.
Oh, like, but
that's
so
nothing.
Good. I know.
Compared to some of the stuff that they did in Legends. I mean, it is nuts.
I know. It's absolutely insane. But hey, we can't finish this live stream without mentioning the cameo that I think everybody did indeed have on their bingo card, and was crossing fingers like, first of all, please make it happen. Secondly, please make it look good. So everybody lost their damn mind.
Oh, I definitely did.
When we saw this silhouette show up, the hat, the coat, the tube, the aesthetic that is one Cad Bane, and it finally happened in this one. Although I feel like the internal struggle of seeing Cad Bane show up was that he was showing up to confront Cobb Vanth, who is a fan favorite. So when you show up, and this is like one of the baddest, like as in like, you know, most fearsome bounty hunters in the galaxy, and is showing up on Tatooine to deliver a message to Cobb Vanth, and I'm thinking, wait, I love this, but
you're like, no.
Is something going to happen to Cobb Vanth?
We were like, I was calling it during my during the reaction. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, Cobb is going down. I mean, you do not do this. You do not put Cobb Vanth against Cad Bane. Cad Bane has shown that he's pretty cool, but I don't think he can hold a candle to Cad Bane. And they made him. They made a very strong entrance for him. I mean, that silhouette as he slowly came out of the desert.
You know what I like too, and we saw this kind of in what is it? Behind the Helmet, when they had like kind of it's on Disney Plus now. It's a separate special that talks about the backstory and the history of Boba Fett and how it came about and stuff like that. And it talked about the sound effect of one bounty hunter, because it is Western inspired.
Yeah.
To have when Boba walks, to have kind of like the spur.
The spur.
So I like that in this town, in Freetown, if you will, after Mando has left, you hear it's like, I don't want to call it the wind chime, but it's kind of the equivalent to a wind chime.
Yeah.
You kind of hear that. And to me, that's kind of like, okay, this is like that tumbleweed moment in the classic Western, in the streets being very barren, and you look and on the horizon and like this figure is walking towards you. And I was like, this is the way, I think, the best way to introduce Cad Bane into the live action universe. And that, it just reminded me of like all the sound effects and even the townspeople kind of looking out the window. And I'm like, yes, because they would. You see like the saloon doors, like, I can imagine all in my head. But the fact that, they kind of had like a little draw moment between Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane made me go, well, there's only can be one. And we know Cobb Vanth is pretty good, but we also know that Cad Bane is faster and better. And unfortunately, I think Cobb Vanth had the disadvantage of that one deputy be like, the sheriff's not for sale. And I was like, let's get back and
that's actually a good point too.
Distraction.
Of how well would Cobb Vanth have done if he wasn't distracted by his deputy? Because that is when Cad Bane shot. Is as soon as Cobb looked, that's when and he was able to get both of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's, it shows one that is one of Cad Bane's strength is that he is very clever. He's very smart. He knows how to pull off a heist kind of a thing. So, I love it. I loved, honestly, though, I did have a little qualm with how he looked. I think, for the fact of making it look very, it's obviously very practical. That you can
100% prosthetic makeup, practical makeup.
But
love
there is.
I wanted the hat to be a little bit bigger. I wanted the hat to be just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, same
but
here.
That's just me. I think practically it probably would look comical if they made it bigger. So they had to, scale to make it look to adapt it to live action. And I think this is totally fine. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
There is a video on YouTube that a guy remade it. And what they did, I think.
Did you find the link? You want to drop it in chat?
I'm trying to find it. And I guess what I might do is I might just, bring up the.
Here, what is the YouTube thing called? I'll just bring it up in on the show.
Well, and then I was going to do that. Put the link in the chat. But they darkened his skin, lengthened the distance between his eyes and his mouth. And that's all the change that they needed to do. And
is this the one? This is the one.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute it.
Cad Bane rework.
So I'll go ahead and drop the link to that video that Dustin's talking about into the chat just for reference.
And I thought this was perfect the way that they did this. And I for me it made a world of difference seeing that little change there.
So I'm just going to go to the comparison part. Well, here, I'll do it this way.
Oh, yeah, you can see the comparison.
Okay, hold on. I can't let them see that. So I have to how do I want to do this?
I guess, you can just do screen share.
Yeah, but I don't want them to see that.
Oh, okay. Well, if you
guys
want...
here. I'll do it this way. This isn't so bad. Okay. Hold on. I'm just going to share the screen. There's no sound, so you guys feel free to click on that link that I sent you. That does take you to that video. But here is the... Here we go. Okay, we're going to share. You guys can see it. Okay. So there is no audio because this is not my work. This is from a channel called Cinematic Captures. So go ahead and give this video a watch. But this is their version of the rework that they did on Cad Bane. And there it is. That's what I wanted to show you guys. The original and the adjustment. I honestly, Dustin and I were kind of going back and forth last night about it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing because now that you guys seen it. But I personally don't have too much problem with what we got in the Book of Boba Fett, because I understand that they, aside from Luke, that you had to do digital stuff and some of the other stuff, they try to remain as practical as possible when it comes to like prosthetic makeup and creatures, which I totally appreciate, because I think personally it does look better. The only thing that I said is I wish, and there's a reason behind this, so let me finish. Yeah. I wished that they had turned the contrast up, down a little bit. Just that Cad Bane was so pale blue in this one, but I understand the reason they did it, because they're on Tatooine and there's the twin suns, so it would make anybody's, because if you look at Cad Bane, like he's super like washed out too because of the sunlight. So I understand that, which means the next time we see him in a different setting, scenario, lighting situation, the blue may be a little bit more vibrant. But, I hope so. But other than that, that would be like, if I were to get really nitpicky, that would be the only thing. But I was just so freaking happy that we got Cad Bane, and the voice. I think it was Corey Burton's voice. Yeah, coming through. I don't know if he was in the makeup, who he did the make. He was, the actual Cad Bane, or they had another, character actor come in and do the work for Cad Bane. So if you guys know, let us know. But I can't believe we got freaking Cad Bane. Like, we've been hoping for it, and now we have it. Yeah. And I kind of really hope that we will see him in the finale. We know he's working with the Pikes.
He's going to be in that fight. I just hope they don't kill him. Yeah. Because, I mean, there's a lot of history between him and Boba Fett. There's hints that I've seen the deleted scene from Clone Wars where him and Boba Fett have a little duel. Well, that's how Boba Fett gets the dent in the helmet. And if you look at Bad Batch, Cad Bane actually has a metal plate in his head. And that's where he got hit from the duel with Boba Fett.
Imagine if he shows up in the final episode with the fight with the Pikes. Both Boba Fett and Fennec should be like, you. Oh, I need that to happen. Please, please, please let it happen. Yeah. Please let it happen. Let's see. Got a couple more super chats here. Oh, it's not showing. There we go.
There we go.
Hello, what writes? Every time Grogu jumped during training, I kept hearing the Lego Star Wars Yoda scream. This is the way indeed. That training montage, man, of like, first of all, Luke having baby Grogu in the freaking backpack
and running. I was just like, oh my God, it's so many parallels.
Oh, it's so good. And the flip too, the front somersault, and the Grogu front somersaulting, fighting with the little, so good. It's just, I didn't even know that I needed that until I got it.
I know.
And it's amazing.
I think that's one of the things that hit us so strong about that episode. One, we didn't know we needed it. Two, we weren't expecting it at all. And we were just like, yes, give us more. We want more. And so it was these two episodes that have really made this show.
Like Loki. Dustin's it's a signature now.
Yeah. That's honestly, I have a lot of those, like, not nervous tics, but yes, those things that I just, what is it? You say that I kind of a thing. I say that all the time.
Moving right along with our long line of super chats. So many. Sorry, we're taking so long to catch up because
we definitely want to get to all of them.
So sorry, guys. Amr Nail, thank you so much for this. Who writes, can we all agree that Grogu will choose the lightsaber? It does seem pretty obvious, being Luke's first Padawan and all, and Luke's past connection to Yoda. I kind of am mad that he has to make a choice. I was like, but can't he have both? We have had a Mandalorian Jedi in the past, so couldn't Grogu be another one? Like, he could have the lightsaber and the baby chainmail.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he's actually going to pick the chainmail, because it would make sense that Luke has a little bit of failure with his first Padawan, that it's not quite working out. And he's like, and he gets not frustrated, but discouraged. And he's kind of like, well, okay, maybe I need to change things up. Maybe since now we're starting a new Jedi temple, we can't ask people to give up all of their attachments. because it's something that is actually really important. It was Luke's attachment to Leia that made him make certain choices that led to victory. It was his attachments that did save him. So I would say that this is something that Luke starts to reconsider.
Maybe.
So
maybe. The only reason why I think that Grogu will choose the Beskar chainmail over the lightsaber is the attachment and the fact, and I know this may be reaching, but we know that Din no longer has his original ship. He now has the Naboo Starfighter. So there's not enough room for an actual bounty if he needed to bring it, unless he brought back in pieces, perhaps.
Yeah.
But there is certainly in a little pocket that's perfectly Grogu size. And that's really based on that technicality is kind of why I think that Grogu will choose Beskar. But it's honestly, I don't know. I'm so on the fence because Grogu could also realize that this is the path I have to follow for now. So I don't know, because I would love to see Grogu pick up that lightsaber and wield it.
Yeah.
Like I really want
he
that.
would definitely still need 2 hands to wield it. That lightsaber is still bigger than he is, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So that's I don't know if we're gonna get to see that in the finale of the Book of Boba Fett, but more likely we're going to see it in season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Which will be fun.
All right, and this is one more super chat from Hello What. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Who writes, my best friend and I quoted Ahsoka's exact line from Clone Wars. Who else wears such a ridiculous hat? And we lost it when he came in. Ahsoka always delivering those, like, she's just like, what now? Oh, gosh. I still can't believe we got a live action Cad Bane. I still can't believe we got a live action Cad Bane. They pulled it off. And of course, the only person I expect to see it through and pull it off was Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
also to be able to juggle all of these cameos.
Yeah.
From Ahsoka to Luke to Grogu to Cad Bane to Cobb Vanth. So
yeah.
I am just super excited to see what this last episode has in store for us. I mean, if it has even half the amount of surprises that we got from this episode, we're in for a ride. So I mean, speaking of which, we still need to see Boba Fett riding on the back of a Rancor.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, we need Danny Trejo to come in and be like, "We've got a Rancor."
And I'm really wondering if they're really going to change his name or just call him either Danny or Trejo, as that's their character's name in the show.
Huh?
The Rancor trainer, because I think he was credited as like Rancor trainer.
Yeah, he didn't have like a character name.
Like a character name. So I'm really curious on.
He's just Danny Trejo.
He's just going to be
across
Danny
the universe.
Or they're going to call him Machete. Machete in space.
By the way, did you know that this is completely kind of jumping? Just quick sidebar for a second because we're talking about Robert Rodriguez here and how he was worked a lot with Danny Trejo. The CW just ordered a round of pilots. So they've got a show called Gotham Knights. They've got a show called The Winchesters, which is not about the House Winchesters, but it's a supernatural prequel.
Oh.
That's going to be focused on the story of Dean and Sam's parents.
Ooh.
And Jensen Ackles is going to be narrating that show. But they also ordered 6 more scripts of the Zorro show that Robert Rodriguez is either directing or producing or executive producing.
Oh.
And so when I was on the John and Wendy show, this just yesterday, we're talking about it, and somebody said, who would you cast as like the villain? And right off the bat, I was like, Javier Bardem, because I think he's got like the stature and like whatever. But then the brain started to actually work, and I was like, wait, this is a Robert Rodriguez, so naturally we're going to see Danny Trejo in one way or another. I feel I want to see him in that universe. Okay, sorry for the sidebar. We're gonna jump back over to Star Wars now. Sorry about that. Oh man. Wow, watching from Dublin. Hello, Frank from Dublin.
Hi Frank, how's it going?
That's awesome. Okay, MK writes, over or under for the finale? 52 minutes. Do you think it's over 52 or under 52?
Actually, 52 is probably a good judge. I would say that it's going to be a hair over because we've had an episode. Oh, really? Very possible.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, because
I hope I'm wrong.
think, what is it? The second episode was 54 minutes. episode 2, where we actually had him with the Tuscans. I think that was just a little bit under 54. I would think the finale would
Bryce
be just
had then the next longest episode at 52.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the finale is a little bit over 55 episodes, 55 minutes.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I love that, but I feel like this one was 47 or 48, so I feel like the next one would be like at around like 49-50 zone. But I would love if it was over 52 minutes. Jim Jones McGee writes, if I see Boba write that Trejo Taco sponsor Rancor, I'll be happy. Us too. Oh man. Okay. Soccer TL has it really interesting, and I've seen this in other like comments as well on our reaction video. Soccer TL writes, I thought Ben was Luke's first student. That would mean Grogu would choose the chainmail.
Oh,
that would explain also why Grogu wouldn't be there when Ben decided to go get hacky.
Yeah, and the fact that what is it called? Luke probably wouldn't consider Grogu his first student. He would consider him, because he's even said it. He's like, it's less of me training and more of him remembering, kind of a thing. So he's probably going to be like, I really didn't have much time with him. I really wasn't much of a teacher, so I'm not going to call it to where it was Grogu was my first. But yeah, Ben, technically, he said, where did he actually say Ben was? I'm trying to remember. I remember him saying it, but I'm trying to remember.
Well, he had other students too.
Yeah.
So it was Han and Leia who sent Ben to Luke to be trained.
True. And I don't think.
I haven't really rewatched the sequels, so I don't remember.
If Ben was his first student, because he was sent to Luke to be trained. But it would have been, it's still years before Ben is even born, I think. So I guess no, Ben could have been, what is it? Leia and Han could have had a honeymoon baby, kind of a thing.
It's possible. I'm laughing at this comment from just oops. Sorry, Blade, I clicked on the wrong one. Ah, dang it. From Jester's sketchbook. Luke, you must have no attachment to anyone ever. Also, Luke, Ahsoka, will I ever see you again? So
good point.
True.
He's already kind of like, no. Tell me more about my father. Tell me more about my mother that I know nothing about. The only information he would have about Padme would be from Ahsoka, because and Obi-Wan, yeah. And honestly, why aren't the Obi-Wan, Yoda, Luke, and Ahsoka all sitting down and having tea together?
Maybe one day.
Maybe
one of the shows.
Why isn't Yoda helping out a little bit? Or at least Obi-Wan. Yeah.
I can't wait for those shows. I cannot wait. It's going to be so good. Super chat from Hello What, who writes, according to episode 9, Luke actually tried training Leia. So Leia is technically the first student.
No, that's true. What was it? We saw that in that little montage.
Right. That's right.
Another flashback.
Of flashback them
training, and we actually they were selling Leia's lightsaber.
At Galaxy's Edge.
It
was sold out pretty often.
So that is so very true, that Leia probably would have been Luke's first student. So, and we also don't know exactly when Han and Leia get married. Do they get married right off the bat?
I think they say it in the Han, there's a book.
Yeah, in Bloodline. I think. Well, I think they mention it when they get married.
Do they? I know Han Solo has that book too. The shot for what is that book called? I had it, and then I gave it to somebody to read, and I don't think I got it back. I don't think I got it back. I don't remember.
I think I have it on my Audible.
I don't remember who it was.
There's actually still a lot of Star Wars books that I have to catch up on.
Yeah. Well, Britt Jones here has a recommendation. Let me just hold on. Just scroll to.
I always like recommendations.
Britt Jones says, "Hey. Question: did you recently get the old/new Star Wars book, Heart of Gold?"
No,
have not. But thanks for letting us know. So we will kind of look it up and see what it is about. See what it is about.
So it's he also wrote Britt Jones put near the bottom, Heart of Gold book can be found
as a free PDF file.
Oh.
Well, we'll do a little Google search after the live stream is over and talk about that. Well, you guys, we've been on for almost 2 hours, which is kind of what I expected for us to do, because I felt like I wanted to give equal time to the Legend of Vox Machina talk, as well as the Book of Boba Fett talk. And I keep forgetting to talk about this when we were talking about the Legend of Vox Machina, that another Easter egg from their Mighty Nine campaign is the Fluffernutter.
Oh yeah, we forgot to bring up the Fluffernutter.
I forgot to mention it. Man, well, there it's mentioned. Now it's too late. All right, you guys. We're going to go ahead and get out of here because we have about an hour of break before we have to sign on to play our TRPG show. Is a 2D20 system that we're going to be live streaming, not from here, but it's going to be on Twitch, twitch.tv/the DAT network, the DAT network. I don't know if I have.
Let me see. I think I can
put. Here it is.
Oh, you already got it up there?
Right down here. It's going to start approximately 6 p.m. PT. So for anybody who stayed and watched from Legend of Vox Machina, if you enjoy watching other TRPG streamed shows, it's short, 3 hours. So it's from 6 to 9 with a little like 10-minute break in between. It's a different system. It's not D&D 5e. It's not Pathfinder 1 or 2, but it's interesting. Essentially, you roll 2d20 to check a skill, whether it's, so it is set in a post-apocalyptic world. So
very Mad Max
type of situation. Witness me.
Kings of Dirt. Kings of Dirt
is what it's called. And essentially for any sort of drive check, weapons, attacks, anything like that, you roll, skills, you roll 2 d20s, and you want to roll below your skill attribute
to get a success.
So for example, if I have like an 11 for firearm, I would need to roll 11 or under. So nat 1s are really good in this game, and nat 20s are essentially a critical failure, which has happened before. So if you guys want to come and check us out there, we're going to be again twitch.tv/the DAT network, 6 p.m. PT. And with that, you guys, we are going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining this super long stream, but there was no other way to do it than this way, so appreciate it. And again, thank you so much to Chris's Choice,
thank you so much, Chris Mendez,
for sending us awesome Lunar New Year Spring Festival goods. Thank you so much, and it was good seeing you, and we will see you again soon. I'll message you after this. So
should we mention the next time that we're going?
Not publicly.
Okay.
I don't like to do that, even though I put it on my social.
Okay.
Usually after the case. All right, guys. We love you so much. We will be back on Wednesday.
Yep.
For another regular live stream, where we talk about, movie-related news, entertainment-related news, pop culture, all things like that. So if you haven't already, please thumbs up this video so we can get more visibilities on YouTube. If you haven't, please subscribe to our channel. We have a ton of, we used to do just trailer reactions and movie reviews, but now we've also added show reactions to our list of videos, and currently we're reacting to the Book of Boba Fett, the Legend of Vox Machina. We're going to finish up Cobra Kai, and then hopefully we can work on Arcane, because that's one we've been waiting on.
We've been wanting to do Arcane for so long.
Yeah, and the reason why we there's a lot of other YouTube creators that go full, like, they're reacting to this and that. Like Late to the Party is a great example. They're doing so much. I just don't have it in my capacity in my day to do all the editing. I don't feel like we have enough funding to like hire an editor right now. And sometimes too, I kind of like to edit my own thing because I know what in my brain what I want already. So thank you for your patience as we try to catch up with all our various reactions. I think we may also explore the idea of a watch along on one of our Twitch channels, specifically for All of Us Are Dead, because I really, really want to watch that K-drama. So I might be doing that, but stay tuned. So with that, we love you guys so much. Thanks for being here, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye, you guys. I got to find the end slide. I got to find it.
It's all the way at the very top with
there
all
we
this
go.
other stuff.
All right. Bye, guys. See you later.